Welcome back to the deep dive. And before we even jump into the sources today, I actually want you to just check your watch or, glance down at your phone for a second.
Yeah, look at the calendar.
Right. Look at the date because it is Thursday, February 26, 2026.
Which is wild to say out loud, honestly.
It really is. We are deeply entrenched in the first quarter, well, almost the second quarter of 2026. And sitting here looking at this massive stack of research we've got to go through today.
It's a huge stack.
It is. But looking through it, I think it is totally safe to say that the whole, the hype cycle of the early 2020s, that is officially in the rearview mirror.
Oh, completely. The dust is totally settled.
Remember that energy a couple of years ago, that sort of breathless, panic-induced, the robots are coming for your job next Tuesday vibe?
Yeah, that's gone. Or, well, I should say it's evolved. We aren't really speculating anymore.
Right.
The conversation today in these sources is looking at the landscape with a lot more clarity. It's no longer about, will AI take jobs? We're living in it.
We are living in the reality of Q2 2026. And what's so fascinating about the research we're diving into today is that the reality looks very different from what the sci-fi movies promised us.
Very different.
It's way less about Terminators and a lot more about bottling plants and making better emails.
Which honestly is where the real revolution happens. It always happens in the margins.
Speaking of margins in the real world, I want to start us off with a hook. There is a quote from the source material that actually made me stop reading and just sit there for a minute.
I think I know which one you're going to read.
It's such a striking image. The author writes, in 2025, I built a robot so factory workers could stop holding grenades with shaking hands.
Man, that is just, it's a powerful image.
Visceral.
Very visceral. And it perfectly sets up the mission for our deep dives today.
Exactly, because we have a dual focus today. We are looking at two sides of the same coin.
Right, so we've got the hard side and the soft side.
Break those down for us. What's the hard side?
The hard side is about execution. It's how businesses are actually deploying AI in the physical world or in operations right now. How to move from what the sources call pilot purgatory into actual measurable profit.
And pilot purgatory is, well, we're going to get into it, but it's the silent killer of companies right now.
It's devastating corporate budgets.
And then on the flip side, we have the soft side, which I think literally everyone listening to this right now is going to relate to.
Oh, absolutely.
It is a masterclass in how to stop AI from sounding like AI. We are going to go through how to detect that kind of halting robotic accent of large language models.
And more importantly, how to fix it.
Yes, how to fix it. Because if we connect this to the overarching thesis of all these sources today, both of those sides, the factory floor and the written report, they're ultimately about the exact same thing.
They're about defeating fluff.
Right. And I want to define fluff in this context because usually when we hear fluff, we think of just, extra words or padding in an essay.
Sure, but in 2026, fluff is the enemy of execution. That is the core thesis.
Generality is the enemy.
Exactly. Fluff is a generic solution in a factory that looks cool, but doesn't actually fix a bottleneck. And on the soft side, fluff is a generic word like tapestry or delve in a memo that just takes up space.
Oh, we are definitely going to have an intervention on the word delve later.
It has to happen.
If you are listening and you have used the phrase rich tapestry in an email this week, just, brace yourself.
We're coming for you.
We are. But before we get to the linguistic intervention, we need to set the macro landscape. Let's look at the money and the economy as of Q2 2026.
Okay, let's do it.
Because if I just look at the top line headlines, the world looks pretty good right now, doesn't it?
It is a very confusing picture if you only look at the surface.
How so?
Well, according to the data we have here, Goldman Sachs is projecting global GDP growth at around 2.8% to 3.3%.
That's solid.
Very solid. And the U.S. economy specifically is outperforming almost every forecast that was made 3 years ago.
So on paper, everything is booming.
On paper, yes. And Fidelity notes in these reports that heavy corporate AI spending is basically the defining factor of this entire 2026 outlook. The money is flowing.
But there is a huge disconnect, right?
A massive disconnect. If you actually talk to business owners or look at the bottom line for mid-sized companies, they are not feeling rich right now.
Why not? If GDP is up and spending is up, why isn't everyone popping champagne?
Because the economy is growing, but company margins are not.
Revenue is up, but costs are up exactly the same amount.
Exactly. You are running on a treadmill. And the culprit, according to the sources, is this massive problem of pilot purgatory.
Okay, unpack pilot purgatory for us, because I thought pilot programs were supposed to be small, agile tests. How do they destroy margins?
They start small. But you have to think about the corporate psychology of the last few years. Every board of directors essentially mandated their CEOs to quote-unquote do AI.
Right, the board comes in and says, we need an AI strategy by Tuesday.
Exactly. So what do companies do? They spin up pilots, they hire consultants, they buy enterprise licenses, they run 100 different little tests.
But they never actually deploy them.
No. Very few of these experiments ever cross the finish line into production where they actually save a dollar or make a dollar. They're just endless science projects.
So they are funding all this R&D out of their operating budget, but getting zero operational return.
Precisely. And in 2026, the market is finally punishing companies that are just collecting pilot programs.
Which explains the massive shift in venture capital that the sources talk about.
Yes, the investment shift is stark. It is no longer about funding cool tech.
The stat here is crazy. Over half of global VC funding is now strictly in AI and robotics.
But the criteria for getting that money has changed entirely.
You can't just walk in with a slick pitch deck anymore.
No, the days of raising $10 million on a slide deck and a smile are over. The new rule for angel investors, explicitly stated in the source, is stop funding pitch decks. Fund data moats.
Data moats, meaning, do you possess proprietary information that the big models don't have?
Exactly, because the generic AI models are commodities now. Everyone has access to the smartest AI in the world for $20 a month. The intelligence itself is no longer a competitive advantage.
So what is the advantage?
The specific data you feed it. If you're building a legal tool, do you have 50 years of highly specific, localized case law that isn't on the public internet? That is your moat.
That makes total sense. Now, there's another financial angle in the macro overview that I honestly found super surprising. It's about interest rates.
The fixed income play.
Yeah. The sources mention the Fed is cutting rates by roughly 50 basis points.
Right, which usually signals a shift.
Usually when cheap money comes back, people start throwing it at risky tech stocks. But the advice here is totally different.
It is a very nuanced point that a lot of people miss. With rates dropping those 50 basis points, fixed income is quietly gaining massive ground.
Fixed income, like bonds.
But
Why are we talking about bonds in a deep dive about cutting-edge robotics and AI? It feels so old school.
it's not flashy, but it's where the smart money is moving as a hedge. The source gives advice for investors whose portfolios are currently 90% equity and 10% hope.
Which is such a brutal way to describe my retirement account, by the way.
I think it describes a lot of people right now. But with rates dropping, the advice is that duration plays become quietly powerful.
Can we pause and explain what a duration play is for the listener, just so we're all on the same page?
Absolutely. So bond prices and interest rates move like a seesaw. When interest rates go down, the value of existing bonds that pay a higher rate goes up.
Right.
A duration play basically means buying longer-term bonds now to lock in today's rates so you get the price appreciation as the Fed continues to cut.
So while everyone else is gambling on which AI startup is going to survive pilot purgatory, you're locking in guaranteed returns.
Yeah, exactly. It's about establishing a bedrock of stability while the tech sector figures out how to actually execute.
Execution. That brings us perfectly to segment 2, the architect of execution. Because the source material doesn't just diagnose the problem, it gives us a really ruthless framework for how to actually ship things.
It is very ruthless and very necessary.
The author uses this analogy of expensive furniture that I just can't get out of my head.
It's a great concept.
They write, technology that doesn't fix a real problem on a real floor for a real person is expensive furniture.
It goes right back to the pilot purgatory issue.
Right. It's just sitting there looking pretty, but nobody's actually using it.
Exactly. It's replacing your excuses, not just replacing jobs. You have to actually solve a workflow.
And the source gives us a literal challenge to test this, a concrete scenario for the listener.
It's a $50,000 6-week challenge.
Okay, walk me through this. If I am a business owner and I have 50 grand in 6 weeks, what is the wrong way to spend it?
The wrong way is trying to boil the ocean. It's trying to fix everything at once, or hiring a consultant to model your entire operations in a massive PowerPoint deck.
Which is what everyone does.
Because it feels safe. But the right way, according to the execution framework, is radical focus. You pick one agentic AI workflow.
Just one.
Not 10, not 5. One.
Give me an example.
Customer support triage or invoice reconciliation. You pick a single, highly specific task. You deploy an AI agent to do it, and you measure the results.
It sounds so simple, but why is it so hard for companies to just pick one thing?
Because it doesn't sound revolutionary. A CEO wants to stand up at an all-hands meeting and announce a digital transformation. They don't want to announce that they slightly improved invoice matching.
But the invoice matching is what actually moves the needle on the margin.
Exactly. And there's an incredible case study in the source material that proves this point beautifully. The digital twin story.
Oh, this is the detective story of the deep dive. I love this part.
It's so good.
Now, digital twin is usually one of those buzzwords that just makes my eyes glaze over.
Usually it's total fluff.
Right, but here it's real. Set the scene for us. It's a bottling plant, right?
Yes, a large bottling plant. And they applied this exact 50K 6-week mindset. The temptation would have been to build a digital twin of the entire factory.
Which would cost millions.
And take 2 years. Instead, they focused on one single bottling line. That's it.
What was the cost to set that up?
The total setup cost was under $40,000.
So they stayed under budget.
Yep. And they ran the simulation. And the digital twin revealed a conveyor timing misalignment.
Between the belt and the bottle filler.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The belt was moving just a fraction of a second out of sync with the filler mechanism.
Quote, no human noticed this.
No, because it was so incredibly subtle. But over the course of an entire shift, that micro misalignment was wasting exactly 11 minutes.
11 minutes per shift? That doesn't sound like a lot.
It doesn't. If you're a floor manager, 11 minutes of friction across 8 hours just looks like normal operations.
Right.
But this had been happening for 2 years. And because the digital twin simulates physics, it saw what the human eye missed.
And when you do the math on 11 minutes of lost production per shift,
It adds up fast. By fixing that one timing issue, they cut $380,000 in annual waste.
wow.
In a single quarter. They spent 40 grand to save almost 400 grand a year.
That is the ultimate proof of the thesis.
Yeah.
Stop running your business on hope and spreadsheets.
Spreadsheets would never catch that misalignment. They just average the numbers out.
So we've solved the hardware side. We've got the tech strategy. Pick one thing, measure it, execute. But that brings us to the human element, segment 3.
The hardest part.
Always, because every time you deploy this stuff, you have to upskill the workers. And the source material argues that our entire corporate instinct around training is just fundamentally broken.
Completely backward. The instinct is to say, let's buy a corporate license for an AI course and send all 500 employees a link.
Right. Everyone watch this 4-hour webinar.
And the source says very clearly, your people don't need courses. They need reps.
Reps, like in a gym.
Yes. You don't learn how to use an AI agent by watching a video of someone else using it. You have to get in there and wrestle with the prompt window yourself.
So how do you actually roll that out? If you aren't training all 500 people, what's the strategy?
It's a strategy they call train 5, not 500.
Okay, I like that. Less is more.
You select a tiny, hyper-focused group. In the case study provided, they picked 4 process engineers.
Not executives, the actual people on the floor.
Right. The people who know where the real friction is.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave those 4 engineers 3 weeks of focused prompting practice, but not generic practice.
What were they practicing on?
Their actual daily workflows. They were tasked with automating the specific reports and tasks they do every day.
And then what?
Then once they master it, you let those 4 teach the rest of the department.
It's peer-to-peer.
Exactly. It spreads organically. And the result in the source is amazing. Within a month, those 4 engineers had automated 23% of the QA documentation.
23% of the quality assurance paperwork just gone in a month.
Because they picked the right people and gave them reps, instead of forcing 500 people to watch a PowerPoint.
That transitions perfectly into the actual mechanics of those reps, the prompting itself.
Oh, the MIT research.
Yes, the concept of recursive meta-cognition. Now that sounds incredibly academic.
It is a mouthful,
Yeah.
but the actual practice is brilliant.
Break it down for us. What is it?
So normally, if you or I sit down in an LLM, we ask a linear question. We say, write a summary of this data, or how do I fix this machine?
Right, a simple request.
Recursive metacognition is basically forcing the AI to think about how it thinks before it answers you.
How do you do that in a prompt?
You use multi-perspective prompting. Instead of just asking for a solution, you tell the AI to look at the problem from different angles.
Give me an example.
So instead of, how do I reduce waste on the line, you say, you are a seasoned floor manager. You are also a strict financial auditor. And you are a safety compliance officer. Debate the best ways to reduce waste and then synthesize a final recommendation.
Oh, that is fascinating. You're forcing the model to argue with itself.
Exactly, you are introducing constraints. And the MIT research noted in our sources found that doing this improved the output quality by roughly 110%.
It more than doubled the quality just by assigning it different personas.
Because it stops the AI from just giving you the most generic, average answer. It forces it to consider edge cases.
And that idea of the generic average answer is the perfect bridge to the second half of our deep dive today.
The soft side.
Yes, we've talked about the factory floor, but for a lot of you listening right now, your factory floor is a laptop.
Right, knowledge work.
Your product is code or analysis or written communication. And as we enter Q2 2026, there is a massive problem with how we are communicating.
The AI speak.
It is an epidemic. The source calls it a Wikipedia field guide of how LLMs betray themselves.
You know it when you read it. It's this halting, robotic accent.
Before we go through the specific words to ban, I want to understand the underlying mechanism. Why does AI write like that?
It comes down to a statistical concept called regression to the mean.
Okay, what does that mean for my emails?
Think about how these models are built. They are trained on huge swaths of the internet. When you ask it to write a sentence, it is literally predicting the most statistically probable next word.
So it defaults to whatever is most common.
Always. It smooths over anything rare or specific or unique in favor of generic, statistically safe fluff. It wants to sound authoritative, but it doesn't actually know anything, so it just pads the sentence.
Which leads us directly to the first major trap. The source calls it significance puffing.
This is everywhere.
It's the puffery trap. The AI can never just state a fact.
No, it has to tell you how important the fact is.
Right. If I prompt it to say, the company was founded in 1994, it won't just say that. It will say, the company was founded in 1994, marking a pivotal moment in the industry.
Serving as a testament to enduring innovation.
Yes, underscoring its vital importance. Why does it do that?
Because in its training data, which includes a ton of bad PR copy and marketing brochures, facts are usually surrounded by that kind of hype.
So what is the fix? What's the rule to kill significance puffing?
It's a very simple editorial filter.
Yeah.
You look at a clause and you ask yourself, does it say something actually happened, or does it just tell me it was important?
If it doesn't add a verifiable fact, you delete it.
Delete it entirely.
I love that. Okay, moving from sentence structure to actual vocabulary, the tourism brochure tone.
The banned words list.
This is my favorite part of the source material. We have a literal list of vocabulary words that immediately scream, a robot wrote this.
They are dead giveaways in 2026.
Word number 1, nestled.
Oh yes, everything is nestled. Nestled in the heart of the city.
Word number 2, vibrant.
A vibrant community of professionals.
Rich tapestry.
The ultimate AI cliche.
Breathtaking. And of course, the granddaddy of them all, delve.
Let us delve into this topic.
Why delve? Why did that specific word become the hallmark of ChatGPT?
Again, regression to the mean. For some reason, in the weighting of the models, delve scored incredibly high as a transition verb. So it just overuses it to death.
So the fix here is to replace these fluffy adjectives with actual specifics.
Reward specificity over sentiment.
The source gives a great example of this.
Right. Instead of writing, we visited a vibrant town with a rich heritage, which means nothing.
It literally conjures no image in my head.
Exactly. You change it to a town of 12,000 people that hosts an annual cattle market.
Boom. Specificity.
You instantly know exactly what kind of town that is.
Okay, let's talk about structural tells. Because it's not just the words. AI has these weird grammatical tics.
The weasel words.
Yes. Vague attribution. Tell me about the ghosts.
So when an AI wants to make a claim seem legitimate, but it doesn't actually have a source, it uses weasel words.
Like experts argue.
Industry reports suggest.
Observers have noted. Who are these observers?
They don't exist. They are statistical ghosts. The model is trying to simulate consensus where there might not be any.
It's a fake citation.
It is. And the fix is simple. If you can't name the expert or the exact publication, don't use the phrase, quote a real person, or don't quote anyone.
Now let's get into the visual tells. Because sometimes you don't even need to read the text to know it's AI. You can just look at the shape of the paragraphs.
The formatting gives it away instantly.
First on the list, the dangling ing.
This is a structural tick that drives me crazy now that I see it everywhere.
It's the superficial synthesis, right?
Yeah, it's when every sentence ends with a comma, followed by a present participle verb.
Like, the team finished the project early, highlighting their dedication to excellence.
Exactly. Or fostering a sense of community.
Yeah.
It's the model's way of wrapping up the sentence with a little bow. It's completely unnecessary.
Just end the sentence at early.
Yes.
What about the rule of three?
LLMs are obsessed with the number 3.
We provide solutions that are fast, reliable, and secure.
Always 3 adjectives. If you ask it for reasons, it gives you 3. Real life is asymmetrical. Sometimes there are 2 reasons, sometimes there are 5.
When every list has exactly 3 items, it feels machine-generated.
Because it is.
And then we have boldface abuse.
Oh, treating an email like a LinkedIn post.
Bolding every 4th word to create like a key takeaways vibe, it just makes the text look frantic.
It looks like a slide deck, not prose.
An emoji overload. Using a brain emoji for a bullet point that says cognitive pattern.
It's very 2024. Ban the emojis in professional contexts.
There's one more structural artifact mentioned. American defaultism.
This is crucial for international users. Even if you prompt the model to write about a university in India or a market in London, it will default to American idioms.
It'll use sidewalk instead of pavement.
Or fall instead of autumn. Unless you explicitly force it not to, it flattens the local culture into a generic American standard.
Okay, so we know all the tells. We know the enemy is fluff and delve and boldface text. Segment 6. How do we fix the machine?
The actionable advice.
Let's say I've got my prompt window open right now. I want to build a system prompt to stop the AI from sounding like this. What are the rules?
You need a strict set of instructions.
Okay.
First is negative constraints.
A blacklist.
Yes. You literally write in the prompt, do not use the following words. Tapestry, delve, vibrant, nestled, testament. You ban them.
Okay, words are banned. What's next?
Verbs. You force the use of simple copulae.
Meaning is, are, and has.
Right. Tell it to use simple verbs instead of bloated ones.
So instead of the platform boasts robust security, you say the platform has robust security.
Exactly. It's cleaner.
What about formatting?
Put in the system prompt. Do not use bold text for emphasis. Do not use emojis.
And finally, the most important rule.
The no fluff rule. You instruct the model. Do not explain why a fact is important unless the source material explicitly contains that analysis.
Just give me the facts. Don't tell me it's a pivotal moment. Let me decide if it's pivotal.
That one rule will clean up 90% of your AI writing
It strips away all the insecurity of the model.
because confidence is concise. Precision is confidence.
That is a perfect synthesis for everything we've talked about today.
It really ties it all together.
Because whether you are looking at the hard side fixing the timing belt on a bottling line or the soft side stripping the word tapestry out of an investor update,
The winner in 2026 is the person who demands specificity.
specificity over generality.
Generalities are the enemy of execution.
As we wrap up this deep dive, there is a final provocative thought from the source material that I want to leave everyone with.
It's a great challenge.
The author writes, Q2 2026 isn't about whether AI takes your job. It's about whether you replace your excuses.
That hits hard.
And the question I want you, the listener, to mull over as you go about the rest of your day is this. What is the one workflow in your business right now that still runs on hope and spreadsheets?
Find that one thing.
And are you brave enough to spend 50 grand in 6 weeks to fix just that one thing?
Stop buying expensive furniture. Fix the floor.
That is the challenge. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the reality of 2026. We will catch you next time.
See you then.